Namaskaram.
Now, how the karma of Pandavas behave from this?
Okay, your question is Arjuna actually harmed Kauravas. How it will bring him happiness? The thing is, regarding Arjuna is a warrior. He is a warrior who has to fight for dharma, fight for the nation, fight for civilian people. Now consider this case. Arjuna retreats from the fight. Duryodhana, who is an evil person, wins over. And how much trouble will the civilian people have under Duryodhana's rule? No. So, in the name of, even if you consider it harm, in the name of harming Duryodhana, Arjuna brought happiness to millions of civilian people by saving them from his demonic rule. This is point number one. So, happiness there is given to many people. One. Another thing, this is Karma Yoga. Lord Krishna says, hurting another person with the intention of hurting is different. But hurting another person as a part of your duty is different. There is a judge in a court. He wants to give some punishment to a culprit. He will say, oh, if I punish him, he will encounter a lot of sorrow. No, I will retreat from my judgment. Can a judge say so? So that is Karma Yoga, that is different. Harming others means the intention to harm. Fighting for justice is here harming or troubling another person is not the motive. Victory of dharma is the motive. So Krishna says every action has two parts, knowledge part and working part. Can you think of it? Every action has got knowledge part and working part. The execution is working part. The manner with which you execute, the mindset with which you execute, it is the knowledge part. Krishna says that more than the working part, knowledge part of the action is more important. One fellow, he was serving a great sage by waving fan for him. But he was thinking in his mind, this old man is seated here, he will be seated for more time, I will have to wave fan for him. Oh my God, what a plight this is. Saying this, he was waving fan. Is there any merit for this? So, more than the action, the mindset with which you do is more important. Arjuna didn't have the intention of harming. So, if we think good for others, good will come to you.
Spiritual practices help us in the daily life.
Yes. Considering time, I will give you one simple example. Spiritual practices make us realize two things. How far God is great. How far we have lot of defects. The great Acharya Sri Parashara Bhattar, he used to say, one time, one fellow, he just criticized Parashara Bhattar like anything. He just scolded him in public. He cursed him even. Parashara Bhattar was smiling. His disciples asked, oh, this fellow is hurting you. He is cursing you, he is scolding you, but you didn't respond. Parashara Bhattar said, every day spiritual practices make us do two things. Realize our defects, realize God's greatness. Today, I enjoyed in the experience of enjoying the God's attributes and greatness more that I forgot to think about my defects. This fellow made me a great help by making me think about my defect. I have to do it every day. This fellow has done it. So the ultimate thing is, by spiritual practice, we slowly realize that we are in such a low level. God is that much higher. So we seek that higher power to take us higher. That's why he often comes down. He condescends to descend in order to make us ascend. So he is above, we are below. Both things, if we realize simultaneously, then ego will be gone. We realize our true spiritual identity of being the eternal servant of God. Thank you.
But what if I have to see a life for the good of somebody's well-being?
Shastras have said, but I have to be careful while quoting this. But since you have asked, I will tell you this thing. Shastras say you can tell lies on 5 occasions. Strishu Narma, when husband and wife are speaking with each other secretly, they can say white lies. Oh, you are handsome, you are beautiful. They are all white lies. That is allowed. One. Vivahecha. If you want a good thing to get accomplished, for that you can definitely say a lie. Because if some relative, he has breath is lost, if we hear that news, we will get some pollution theatre. In that case, we can hide that news and ensure that the good things happen well. That no problem. Third, vrityarthe. When you are about to lose your entire property and become bankrupt, there you can say a lie and escape from that. Four, prana sankate. When you are about to lose your life, to save your life, you can say a lie. Fifth one, gobrahmanarthe himsayam. If somebody tries to harm another organism or another living being, to save that, you can say a lie. So in these cases, lies are admitted. Yet, great souls try to avoid lies even on these occasions. There was a sage. A hunter was chasing a cow. The cow sought asylum in the hermit of the sage. The sage was sitting. That hunter came. He asked the sage, "O sage, did the cow come here? Did you see?" Asked him. The sage could have very well said that, "No, I didn't see. Lie is not a problem." But do you know what the sage said? He said, "The one who sees cannot speak. The one who speaks cannot see." The thief was confused, hunter was confused, and he went away. But his answer is superb answer. One who saw cannot speak. One who speaks cannot see. What he means is, eyes only see, but eyes can't speak. Our tongue speaks, but it can't see. Your question is, did you see cow? I saw, it cannot speak. My mouth can speak, but it didn't see. That's the answer. So somehow they want to avoid lies. Extreme cases accepted. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, nab bruyat, satyam apriyam. This is in Manusmriti. We have to speak the truth. We have to speak truth which is good for all. Just because one thing is good, we should not speak lie also. Just because one is true, we should not speak one thing which is not good also. That is Manusmriti. Namaskaram.
The karma continues with us. If you don't want to have a rebirth, then how do you?
Then realize then reflect over the answers for the question number 2 and question number 3 and surrender to God. You will get no rebirth. Thank you.
On a serious note, from a spiritual perspective, how are we supposed to lead children, the teenage children, especially being in the form of behavioral pattern challenges?
Okay. What I understand is you want to know some tips for teaching spirituality to children. Please teach them one practical spirituality from Chandogya Upanishad. Our problem is we separate spirituality from our daily life and separate daily life from spirituality. Chandogya Upanishad says, Aitadatmyam idam sarvam tat satyam sa atma. Aitadatmyam, atmyam means body. The entire universe is the body of God. Tat satyam sa atma. God is the soul of this universe. So, when you see this universe, you should not see this world as a mere material world. It is the body of God. When you think of God, we should not think Him as an external force. We should think that, though He is also externally existing, but God has got the entire universe as His body, entire universe as His property, as His attribute. And He is so great. So, when we associated God with this universe, we can execute all our daily duties as devotion to God. That is called Karma Yoga. If you are a doctor, you can very well practice as a doctor, but within the limits of Dharma, considering your duty itself as a form of worship to God and offering whatever benefit you get to God, if you do it as Krishnarpanam, that is also puja to God. This is not said by me. 1000 years ago, Bhagavad Ramanuja says, Tadevam laukikani sharira dharanarthani vaidikani nitya naimittikani cha karmani madarpanam kurvan. Even if you are engaged in a material job, don't worry. please do it as per dharma. Please do it as with the sense that I am worshipping God through this duty. Swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. By worshipping God, by virtue of his duty itself, he can attain God. So while seeing this universe, we seeing our laukika job, we should see that even studies, we should see that as a form of worship of God. So spirituality comes into material life. While looking at God, we should think that, oh, this entire creation, this beautiful Germany, the Alps, Switzerland, this beautiful Europe, everything is the creation of God. Then how great he is. Now, associate world with God. You can relate how great he is. Associated God with world, spirituality will come to your daily life. This you can teach to your children. Okay.
Namaskaram. My question was if karma and punya decide about our future life, how was our first life decided?
The first point is untraceable. She has asked an excellent question. So, my claps for you. The beginning point is untraceable. Our acharyas have done a lot of research on this area. The thing is, take a circle. What is the beginning point for the circle? What is the starting point of a circle? Circle will have some starting point, but can you find it? No. Similarly, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, this is a cycle. You cannot trace one particular starting point. From this point, karma started. So, our acharyas say that karma is anadi, without a beginning. Because jivatmas are existing eternally. This is said in Gita, Natvevaham jatunasam, Natvam neme janadhipaha, Nachaivana bhavishyamaha, Sarve vayam atafparam. So all jivatmas have been existing from time immemorial. So we have to understand that karma has been also existing from time immemorial. It is untraceable point. So our Acharya says, rather than wasting our time in tracing the beginning point, we can go towards tracing the end point. That we can do. When we surrender to God, we can put an end point to karma. When you go to Vaikuntha, all these doubts will become automatically cleared.
A big round of applause to Mr. Teacher.
Yes, yes, excellent question.
A moment, how do you know right or what to do?
When you encounter some anger or depression, how can we decide what to do? That's your question, right? Okay. Whenever you are in anger or depression or even ecstasy, please don't take any decision. That's the answer. Whenever you are angry, you should not take any decision. Whenever you are depressed, you should not take any decision. More importantly, when you are ecstatic, feeling elated, please don't take any decision. They are all hasty decisions. So please wait for that to go away. Because easily, the two in your age, mood swings are very common. So it is, in one way, it is good. So your anger, depression, frustration, all will go immediately. They are all momentary only. So just wait. Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkadaha, agama payanaha anityan tan titikshasva bharata. Please endure them. Other than endurance, there is no other go. If you have some bout of depression, please accept it and come over. Please don't get depressed that you have got depression. One depression is okay. But you should not develop concentric depressions or cyclic depressions. Oh, I have got depression. That itself is another depression. Depression will come to anybody. Anybody will have it. So just endure that. Just bear with that. It will go away, no doubt. And then take your decision.
We have to obey. We work as parent, as son. Among all these, the one concern, we or I as a son, always feel that I am not doing enough for my mother. How to read this in the current situations?
Okay. I will tell you what Krishna said. Even Lord Krishna cannot do enough for his mother. In Srimad Bhagavata Puranam, Lord Krishna says, after rescuing Devaki and Vasudeva from the jail of Kamsa, Lord Krishna tells them, Na tayoryati nirvesham pitror martyas shatayushaha. Even if a son works for 100 years and serves his parents, he cannot do equal service to his parents to what they did to us. So, even there is a Tamil song itself, ஈரைந்து மாதங்கள் கருவோடு எனை தாங்கி நீப்பட்ட பெரும்பாடு அறிவேனம்மா, ஈரேழு ஜென்மங்கள் எடுத்தாலும் உழைத்தாலும் உனக்கிங்கு நான் பட்ட கடன் தீருமா. So, we cannot do equally to our parents, but we should realize that we cannot do anything, and we should show unconditional love, care, respect to the parents, and whenever possible we have to go and serve them. Just because we have served doesn't mean that we have done equally to them.
Any decision we take is just God's decision. So why should I think about my life then?
Two things I will tell you. First thing is, you have got free will, but there is a radius for that free will. The radius for that free will is, I will tell you an example. You tie a cow to a pillar. There is a huge field. The cow can graze that field, grazing field. There is a pillar at the center of the field. You tie the cow with a rope to that pillar. The free will of that cow is up to the radius of that rope, that circle. Whatever length that rope has, till that radius, the cow has got free will. But can the cow go beyond that into the field? No. Similarly, God, we are all under His control only, but He has given us our five senses. He has given us intellect. Within the limit of our senses and intellect, He has given us free will with which we can utilize. But that free will cannot breach into another person because we have got a radius. This is point number one. Point number two, even if you are doing with that free will only, actually you are the doer. Because Brahma Sutram says, Karta Shastrarthatvat. In Brahma Sutram, Karta Shastrarthatvat. Jivatma is the doer. Because that's why Shastras have come. If Jivatma is not the doer, then why should all scriptures come and ask us, you do Sandhyavandanam, you do this thing, you do puja? Why should Shastra say? So, Karta Shastrarthatvat, you are the doer. But while doing, you should develop the tendency that I am not doing, God is doing through me. Because if you think that I am doing, you will develop ego. So you do, but consider that because this body is blessed by God. He only made us read Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad or whatever it is. He only blessed us with good parents. He only blessed us with good family. Everything is given by Him. I am just executing. So, for a thing to happen, of course, our will also acts. But our will alone is not enough. So, let us think that God is doing it. So, that is the second thing.
What does the scripture say? Because I look at it, personally, I look at it as past, present, future.
Okay. Okay, let me. Actually, this is more of an individual decision. Yet, since you have asked it on a public platform, I will try to explain. The thing is, it is the duty of a son or daughter to be by the side of his or her parents, especially during their old age, because it is the duty. So, we cannot deny that. At the same time, you might have got education and other things for your children. For that, you have to be here. Now, you have to work out some formula. If they have got 2 or 3 children, one person can be there. He can take care of them. He or she can take care of them. Another person can come here. Or otherwise, they can look for any opportunities to go back and pursue education there, because education is available everywhere and bright students can pick up education from anywhere. So we can try that formula. Or 2 months this person can take care of his parents, 2 months other person, likewise they are doing that. or you can bring your parents here, that's another option. So we have to work on options because both are important. Because I will tell you one example. One person has got migraine headache. The same person, he also got angina, chest pain. For chest pain, we give Isardil, but Isardil will cause headache as side effect. Now, whether to treat headache or whether to treat chest pain, this patient has to decide. So you have to decide.
If we can declare a Q&A session.
Okay, let me convey my thanks, please. So I wholeheartedly thank you all for making this an engaging session, for interacting with me both during my session and also during the Q&A. And I again wholeheartedly thank this Parayanam group of Frankfurt for arranging such a program, and also the people who donated this hall, other people who arranged, and madam's initial note was very superb, and then the children who sang beautifully, and everybody who interacted, our friend who helped us with video and other things, mic arrangements, who are all have been involved in many ways, like Squirrel for Lord Rama. Many people have been engaged in this, right from registration desk, right from outside. Many people have to engage to make an event successful.